So today we're going to be taking a look at the Gaming Greats ARC Trooper Wave that was recently released in the Vintage Collection. They're based upon their appearance in the Battlefront 2 2017 game. I've never actually played that game. I played the original Battlefront from 2004 quite often, but after that I really haven't played any of the Battlefront games. The original Battlefront 2 I have played up until about 2011 or so, but since then I haven't really been interested in that one as much. But the original Battlefront I always go back to. But anyways, these are probably some of the best releases from 2022, I think. They're definitely up there. They are all just repaints of the ARC Trooper 501st pack that came out in 2020 based upon Fives, Echo, and Jesse, which I will review that pack on this channel soon as well. The only complaint I have about these particular three is they were all released exclusively from someone else. This one was from Big Bag Toys. I did not get this one from Big Bag Toys. I actually got this one from Tungori, and I also have a carded version that I picked up in Britain. This one I think is just an online exclusive. I'm not sure if it's making its way around retail so much. I have not seen it at any retail stores, but you can get it through GameStop, Entertainment Earth, any of those. And the Umbra Operative Trooper here is just an Entertainment Earth exclusive. And I also have the 6-inch version that was exclusive to GameStop, reviewed on my channel as well, if you want to check that out. But to me, it's just infuriating that Hasbro would make all these exclusive to someplace else. I recall when these originally got announced, I was extremely excited and I thought, oh, I'm definitely going to pre-order all of them at once. But then I found out that each one is exclusive to a different place, and I was very disappointed by that. I think it's, I understand Hasbro has to do exclusive every now and then, but the way they choose what is exclusive and what is not, I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to it. And it's a pain having to purchase these from all different retailers. Like this one, I do not have a Big Bad Toys account, and personally I don't want to get one. I have way too many accounts online as it is, and I don't want to add another one to the bunch. But I'm happy to have all three of them in hand. They're great releases, and we'll get into the review. So first we'll take a look at the packaging for all three of these. We'll take a look at the standard ARC Trooper first. This particular one I picked up in the UK a few months ago. Very nice image. This is figure 235. Of course, we'll be taking a look at this ARC Trooper right now. Lando, I'm going to pass up on this Lando. It seems a very out of place release for the Vintage Collection. And Shea Vizsla I do have reviewed on the channel as well. Both versions of Shea Vizsla, if you want to check that out. Next, we'll take a look at the Lambent Seeker. Nice image there. Camino in the background, it looks like. Figure 236. And then the Umbra Operative. Very nice color scheme for that. Almost looks like he's on Naboo in the background. This is figure 237. So that's the packaging. So as I said, these are all just repaints. We'll take a look at the standard ARC Trooper first. And this one I picked up from Tungori. I don't really see any errors in this one. I really like this color scheme he has going on. It's a very rusty red color. Looks very nice, very unique. The only complaint I have about these ARC Troopers, they are totally all new tooling, or at least from the 501st pack, and this is the, I think the 4th, 5th, and 6th action figure that uses this tooling. The only real complaints I have about it is the comma is plastic, so the hip articulation is pretty much pointless, and also they are slightly shorter than most clone troopers, unfortunately. It's not a huge deal, but it's noticeable if you line them up alongside of the typical vintage collection clone mold. But other than that, they are perfect action figures, I think. Lots of great accessories, lots of good detailing. And who can get enough ARC Troopers, quite frankly? This is probably the clone I have the most of in all my clone collection is ARC Troopers. I have just about one of every kind at this point. And personally, I'm a bigger fan of the ARC Troopers than I am the Clone Commandos. So in terms of the articulation, it's pretty standard for what you would expect from a TVC action figure these days. It's a very good ball jointed neck, can get a good range of motion out of that. Has a hinged shoulders, it goes about 90 degrees. Then he has hinge elbows, and they go about 90 degrees as well. Hinge wrists, which this one goes up and down, and this one goes in and out, I think. Or no, both of them go up and down. It's a very good range in his torso there. He does have hinged hips, but again, it's very restricted by the comma here. Kind of disappointing. It does have a swivel thigh as well. It's a hinge knees there, and the knee armor is actually attached to his thigh instead of his leg. And then, of course, he has rocker ankles. So very good articulation overall. And all three of these have the same exact articulation. So in terms of the accessories, comes with just about every clone blaster that he would need. So we got the two DC-15s here. They're very flimsy, unfortunately. Again, Hasbro these days seems to be getting cheap on the plastic for a lot of their weapons. They don't seem to hold up very well. Other than that, it's just nice gray detail or gray paint. Pretty standard for what you would get. And also he has his DC-17s, which on the 501st clones, they're kind of loose in their holsters, but it doesn't seem to be as big of a problem with these, I think. Maybe it's just my samples. And these are a little bit smaller than the ones we used to get. I have seen a few custom DC-17 blasters that people have 3D printed on eBay, and they're more appropriate sized and they still fit in the holsters, and they're specifically made for these ARC Troopers. So if you are interested in that, you can always check that out on eBay. Just type in like DC-17 blaster pistol for a 3 3/4 inch action figure or something like that, and there might be a few that pop up. Sometimes they're out of stock, so just keep an eye out for that. He does have a removable helmet as well. Have that new standard for the clone head. I think it's really good. Basically, it's just a repaint of Echo, I think. more based on the a more realistic look from their Clone Wars appearance, I think. And the face printing turned out pretty well on these. He does have a movable rangefinder as well. And also a unique feature is on his pack here. He does have a slot where you can insert the magazine into his pack there for one of the DC-15s. And it stays in there pretty well. And he holds his weapons pretty well as well. He gives a lot of nice poses out of that. So that's the standard Dark Trooper. Next we'll take a look at the Lambent Seeker. I do, as I said, have a second version of this one right here. And I actually have a variant of this. For this one, the helmet will not fit on his head hardly at all. You can force it, and I did. And it took me like 30 minutes to try and get it off. So Hasbro is making two different sizes of helmets. I have seen this on a few other samples as well. It's not too common. And I have also seen this on the 501st clones that was re-released for the Vintage Collection recently as well. So it's not just an ARC Trooper problem. And I think if I recall correctly, this was also a problem on some of the 501st ARC Troopers that came out in 2020 with Echo 5s and Jesse. Some people had samples of those where, especially Echo, I think, the helmet didn't fit on very well. But I picked up a second one, and this one fits perfect. In fact, I'll show you what it kind of looks like if you try doing that. But that's about as far as I can get it. And I'll show you what each helmet looks like side by side, if there's really a way you can tell. It's kind of hard to tell. This one's the appropriate size one. This one's the one that's slightly smaller. You can tell this one's slightly smaller on appearance. And I think around the dome here, it's a little more narrower as well. But just an interesting variation to show off for you. Something to keep an eye out on. Unfortunately for this ARC Trooper here, he's going to forever be holding his helmet and we'll never get to wear one unless I find a spare. Or I could force his helmet on and basically keep it on forever. I'd rather have it with it off though. But anyways, this is kind of an interesting green color. Same exact action figure as the one I showed you previously with the articulation, the accessories. Just a different color scheme is all. Then next we'll take a look at the Umbra Operative Trooper. This one definitely has the most striking color scheme. The only problem I really have with this one, I think, other than the standard ones I mentioned earlier, is that you can't really see his visor so much. It's very hard to tell if he even has a visor at all, or if it's even printed on correctly. And these extra markings he has almost looks like it's a part of the visor. I suppose at some angles you can kind of see it, but if you're looking at it from a distance, it's really hard to tell. Not sure what the various color schemes mean for these ARC Troopers. Obviously the 501st one signify the 501st, but I'm not sure the story behind these three. Again, he comes with all the same accessories, same articulation, same features. It does have a removable helmet as well. And that's the difference between this one and the 6-inch version, is the 6-inch one does not have a removable helmet, which is unfortunate. But other than that, that's really all there is to say about these action figures. I would highly recommend them for your collection, especially if you're a clone collector. They're definitely great additions to have. Again, they're all unfortunately exclusive to elsewhere, and they're all different prices as well, I think. This one's like $13.99, and then this one's like $15.99, and this one's $16.99. It's ridiculous how expensive these action figures are getting these days, and I know it's going to start pricing out a lot of collectors, but I think these ones are definitely worth tracking down. Again, I'm always, I try to collect every ARC Trooper possible, so these were must-haves for me. And if you're a Clone Trooper collector and you're especially interested in ARC Troopers, I definitely recommend these for your collection. So anyways, that concludes this review. Please stay tuned for more reviews in the future. There's going to be plenty more to come. And if you hadn't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. And thanks for watching.